Hello and welcome to the CSP download. I'm Lydia and I'm the Children and Families Minister at Chalfont St Peter's Parish Church. Last week we looked at the story of Joseph. Joseph is one of the Israelites, God's special people, and was an important part in God's big plan. Now, we've only just got to the end of the first book in the Bible, and there's quite a few of them before Jesus arrives at Christmas, which is only in a few weeks, so we're going to have to speed up. But first, last week I set you the challenge to see if you could design a coat for Joseph. Here's what you have been sending in. Well, I loved looking at all your pictures this week. Thanks for sending them in. Do keep sending them in and I can show them every week in our gallery. So, the Israelites moved to Egypt at the end of our story last week, Joseph's special family, and they lived there happily ever after. Well, except they didn't live happily ever after, because years after Joseph died and the original Pharaoh who was nice, there was a horrible Pharaoh who made all of the Israelites slaves. Now, the Israelites didn't like it that much and they cried out to God. God picked somebody to tell Pharaoh to let his people go, and his name was Moses. But the only trouble with Moses is that he wasn't very good at public speaking. So, yeah, he had to rely on God quite a bit. We were maybe hoping you could let us go or something, yeah. Well, Pharaoh wasn't giving up his slave labour anytime soon, and so he said, "Let you go? No!" God sent a series of plagues on Egypt. First of all, he turned the Nile River into blood. My water. Oh, yuck! And then he sent a plague of frogs. Then he sent a plague of lice, a plague of flies, a plague on their animals, a plague of boils, ow, a plague of thunderstorms, a plague of locusts, and a plague of darkness. And each time after these plagues, Pharaoh said the same thing. Let you go? No! So God sent a plague of death. All the firstborn males in Egypt died. Now, that one got Pharaoh. Right, that's it. Get out. Off you go. Go on. The Israelites didn't need telling twice. They packed up and scarpered pretty quickly. But then Pharaoh changed his mind. Wait a minute, what about my slave labour? Right, no, come back. The Israelites carried on hurrying with Pharaoh and his army in hot pursuit. And then the Israelites came to the Red Sea and there was no way to cross it. We're all gonna die, cried the Israelites. But God told Moses to reach out his staff over the water, and the water parted. It made a pathway in the middle of the sea, and the Israelites hurried across. Pharaoh's army walked through the pathway as well, but as soon as the last Israelite had walked across, the water swirled back, covering Pharaoh and his Egyptian army. And that was the end of them. We're free! Hooray! Cried the Israelites, and they danced and celebrated and sang new songs, saying how good God had been to them in rescuing them from their life as slaves. God promised the Israelites a new home, but it took them quite a while to get there. They kept moaning and grumbling and forgetting all that God had done for them. They kept forgetting to trust God, who had rescued them. Eventually, 40 years later, and with a new leader, the Israelites made it to their new home. God's big plan wasn't finished yet, but we learn a lot from this story. God is into rescuing. He can help in impossible situations. Have you got anything in your life that you think is impossible? Ask God to help you now. Remember, God is good at rescuing and dealing with impossible situations, like parting a sea of water for the Israelites to walk through. Remember, you are in good hands. That's all for this week, but next time we are going to learn about how God chose an ordinary boy to become a special king. You can check out all of our other episodes on YouTube, and you can also come and visit us in person at one of our services. Check out our website for more information. Bye!